Hey everyone, Codex here. I hope you're doing fantastic. So today we'll take a look at Egld and we'll be discussing if we still expect Elrond to move to lower price targets or if we think that a reversal is ahead of us. Because back in here, what we said is that Elrond will drop, and so we made this video about 4 days ago which I called This Makes Me Worried, and I made it clear that I do believe that we will experience another bear trap, and I kept saying over and over that what we will have in here will most likely be similar to what we had in here. Today, I'll follow up on that to help you understand what you should expect next. So before we get started, please subscribe to the channel, like this video if you haven't already, and make sure to comment down below your thoughts on Egld, or just say anything as it really helps us a lot. So Egld is still having a bearish momentum, and although it's not as strong as the bearish momentum we had back in here or also here, it's fair to say that things don't look that great. Now, if we take a look at the VPVR indicator, which stands for Volume Profile Visible Range, and by the way, you can only access this if you have at least the Pro version on TradingView, I think, but I honestly think that it's worth it. And so what this indicator does is that it shows us high volume nodes as well as low volume nodes. So the high volume nodes are these spikes, and they are areas with a lot of activity happening. Whenever you see a spike, that means that the area has a whole lot of interest in it from both buyers and sellers, and it typically ends up being either our support or resistance. Then we've got these empty areas, which is what we call low volume nodes. And here, the price tends to get hammered and destroyed when going down because nobody is interested in buying at these prices. And so you can clearly see that we got rejected in here from this high volume node, and we are currently heading towards the next high volume node, because that's what typically happens. When you get rejected from a high volume node, the next price target tends to be in the next high volume node, which is currently our accumulation phase, accumulation zone, I mean. And I'm not gonna stand in here to say, I told you so, that we will drop the next high volume node, but we kinda did expect such a move to happen. I mean, this was just posted on our Patreon account a while ago, and I made my thoughts clear about it. Now, the issue that we are facing is that Elrond is getting very close to this area, and if it falls down in there, then we've got a big issue, because these high volume nodes act as a magnet, and whenever the price visits one, it stays in there for several days, if not weeks. I mean, just look in here, for example, how much time we spent moving sideways, or back when we fell in here. I mean, we spent over 3 weeks just hovering around the same price range, or also in here. And so if the price falls down and it starts trending below the $140 mark, then we will most likely end up moving sideways for some time in this accumulation zone. Now, if we take a look at the Phoenix Ascending Indicator, we can see that the blue LSMA and red RSI are still below the mid-yellow line, and this simply means that we still have a strong downward pressure. And the lower the blue line goes, the worse things will get for us. And so what we need right now, what we need right here, is the blue LSMA to start trending up, which will take a lot of work from bulls. On the 3 days time frame, things look way worse actually. And look, we just had the blue LSMA fall down below the mid-yellow line. What you need to understand is that when the red RSI falls down like in here, that typically indicates a start, a beginning of a bearish momentum and a shift in the trend from bullish to bearish. And if the blue LSMA follows it, if the blue LSMA follows the red RSI down, that ends up being our confirmation. And just by looking at our two lines, we can see that throughout Elrond's history, every time both lines fell down below the mid-yellow line, what we ended up getting is a prolonged bearish phase. We first had it here back in 2019 to 2020 before the major crash down. The same thing happened in here. I mean, just look how after both lines fell down on our indicator, we just had this prolonged bearish phase where Elrond couldn't really find a basis to bounce back up. Same problem in here. Blue LSMA and red RSI fell down and the price just got destroyed. And the last time we had the same thing happening, we had our lines fall down, it was back last year when we were at around 260 to 280 US dollars, and you surely know what happened afterwards. And so in order for us to go up now and to stop this bearish phase, to stop this downtrend, we need these two lines to trend higher, which we don't have now. And remember that I'm discussing things on the macro scale. I'm not saying we can't go up today or tomorrow. I'm saying that on the long term, this is what happened in the past, and what's happening now isn't a good thing. Now, could Elrond bounce back up to 150 or 155 US dollars? Absolutely. I never said that it can't. But what I'm saying is that falling down in here will most likely just result in a long period where Elrond keeps moving sideways in its range. The first bearish Egld video that I posted was this one 5 months ago, which nobody wanted to watch back then because we were in a clear uptrend and Elrond was at about 520 US dollars. And since that video, I have been mainly bearish, not because of Elrond, but because of the entire market. I hold Elrond. I think it's an amazing project. I think it's one of the best projects. And I even wrote an entire post about it for a company. But remember that looking at things from an objective point of view is what makes you rich. Look, some of you will ask me if buying in here is a smart idea, and honestly it is. This doesn't mean we can drop lower, but I've said this in the past. I've said that buying in here is a good idea in my opinion, and if it wasn't, I would have never called it an accumulation zone. You are currently getting Elrond for a 73% discount, which to me seems like a good deal if you believe that this project will excel in the next 2 to 3 years. So that was about it guys for today. Thanks for sticking by till the end. Remember that our goal is not to fall down in here, as that will be a very bad thing. So thanks again for watching this video. Like it, share it if you feel comfortable doing so. Join our Patreon account. We don't post daily in there. We post like every 2 to 3 days, but there are definitely quality posts that will save you a lot of pain. Have a nice day and see you in the next video.